Buff Metal back with another video. That was the sound of my boomer-ass Corvette firing up, because I'm getting fired up for summer, baby. And, when I think what's summer music, what could be more summery than some old dad-ass rock, right? You guys remember growing up listening to bands like... Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to save that. I'll show you the bands on CD. I just remember growing up, man, as a kid, listening to my parents' music and stuff, and not that they really listen to any rock or metal, but every once in a while one of these bands would pop up, or I'd be showing them this stuff because they didn't care about music nearly as much as I did. But these are some what I consider dad rock albums, right? Albums that your dad might have listened to or something like that. And hey, if it doesn't fit that mold exactly, if you're like, oh, it's not boomer rock, that's boomer metal. Let's get right into it. Who's up first? Who do I put in this camp off rip? Let's go with who I was listening to today when I was cruising around. Van Halen, baby. It doesn't get more dad rock, more boomer rock than Van Halen. Sleazy. This is the kind of music, man, they were going out in a Pontiac to, having babies in the back seat too after prom night. This is it, man. This is the kind of stuff that got people knocked up back in the day. Van Halen. This might be my favorite Van Halen album, man. I used to think it was, the first record, but 1984. You got Jump, which is not my favorite, but, on their Panama. Top Jimmy, I've actually come to love. Drop Dead Legs is my favorite. It's up there for my favorite Van Halen song. But yeah, man, this album absolutely rules. And on top of that, even more, let's up the boomer level here, all right? Let's talk one album that's got even more boomer vibes by the same band. We are talking... goddamn, 5150. How did I blank the album title? Yeah, so on here we got the main track. We got Sammy Hagar now, right? This is when they switched it up. I bought this not too long ago. If you saw my Record Store Day video, that I bought this around then, whenever Record Store Day was. And I never really listened to this album much because I never even really cared to get into Sammy Hagar, Van Halen. But Why Can't This Be Love? That was, one of the instant songs that I was like, but it's come to grow on me as like a dad rock song, It's kind of a bouncy, fun little track, but regardless, man, yeah, ridiculous. Get Up, Summer Nights, just classic dad rock Van Halen crap on here, and I like it. So who else do I put in the dad rock camp? Well, talk about a band ever so briefly, because I know y'all can't stand them, but Summertime, man, as I'm cruising around and, I'm putting a nice lip of Zinachino in there, I'm throwing in as I'm driving around, man, top down on that damn Pontiac G6, fly like a G6. I actually used to own one of those. I think that's what made me say it. Kiss, baby. Come on, dude. The more I listen to the first Kiss album, the more I might think it's my favorite. Ooh, Black Diamond, 100,000 Years. Cold Gin has actually grown on me, but Strutter, one of my favorite songs of all time, man. If you want to be sitting by the pool, picture this: you're sitting by the pool, you want to cause a scene, man. You want to get people all fired up. If you're a young single man, dude, you want to get some old women looking at you. Bump that, maybe throw on a chain or two or something, I don't know what they used to wear back then, some pearls or some shit. Those dudes, no one did style like Kiss, maybe some platform boots, go sit by the pool. Don't try and swim though, you will sink, I'm sure. Anyways, next up, who else do we got? Who do we got for dad rock here? Let's just, it's almost hard to have a next pick, but let's go with Judas Priest, man. All right, this is my favorite album, man, right here. Probably. They're just, I think the best songs are on here. Free Will Burning, Love Bites, Eat Me Alive, Some Heads Are Gonna Roll, and then Heavy Duty into Defenders of the Faith, man. This is like, all right, so the dad who's listening to this is the cool dad. He's in his garage, right? He's working on something. He's keeping busy. He doesn't like fucking kids and the noise that all the kids are always bringing around, but... He's the cool dad. He's the on the road. He's a road warrior dad. You know what I'm saying? And also, while we're talking about the Mighty Priest, let's bust out. Actually, I said that was my favorite album. This might be my favorite album. Oh, it's so hard to tell, man. Come on, Electric Eye, Bloodstone, So good. And then you got another thing coming. I might have to list that as my favorite Priest song, dude. And last up by the Priest now. Again, getting later into the decades now. But, you know, stepping into the 90s. Oh! Where is it? Here we go. Painkiller, baby. This is the one that the you know, the guy who couldn't leave the 80s behind or whatever, you know, he's still got the mullet. You're well into the 90s. He's still playing Judas Priest, you know, being badass, driving around in some kind of Pontiac Trans Am or something. You know, shout out to Pontiac today, I guess, man. But yeah, this is what he'd be playing, man. Dude, the real leather rebel, you know. Dude, I mean, obviously the title track, Hell Patrol might be my favorite song on this album. Just such it's between that and Nightcrawler, man. That Hell Patrol song is so epic, you know what I mean? Yeah, no, dealers, dude, it's just so good, dude. And Nightcrawler, beware the beast in black, Nightcrawler, dude. Oh my God, so good, dude. Yeah, so good. Now, when we're talking dad rock, you know we got to throw this guy in the mix. Let's go with his best album first, and then I'll talk about some other stuff. Dio, dude. You know, when I was a kid, there was this one time someone's dad said to me, I was such a huge Dio fan, man, growing up, you know, and there was this one time, I was talking to this guy, or I was talking to a friend who said his dad's friend had said Dio was overrated. And I remember going, he is? You know, as a small kid, I discovered Dio through Tenacious D, and I was always like, Dio instantly captivated me, man. He was just probably my first, like, real metal that I was, like, obsessed with. But I think this is obviously his best album. Holy Diver, Rainbow in the Dark, Shame on the Night. Dude, such killer tracks on here. But, dude, yeah, I remember that guy's dad saying that and having, like, a identity crisis and being like, Dio's overrated. Now, if I seen that guy, I'd slug his ass and make him and kiss my boots, my full leather boots, you know? He'd be licking the caca off the bottom. But yeah, dude, that shit don't fly. Dio is the best. Except for on this album, hot take, man. I'm really not a big fan of Last in Line. I don't know, dude. I think this is one of his weaker albums, dude. But I still got it. I still consider it, you know, some essential to own dad rock, you know, especially while we're on the subject. Might as well bust this guy out. Trying to think if there's anything I really love on here besides the title track. We Rock is pretty cool. Eat Your Heart Out. I don't know, dude. It's a just okay Dio album. It was never my favorite. But a little better than that one would be this one down here, which is, I got a fucking shitty-ass copy of it. Dream Evil. I love this album, man. This is like top-tier Dio to me, man. You get the title track, obviously, Sunset Superman, and all the fools sailed away. Dude, so many good songs on here, dude. Absolutely, like, I don't know, just killer, dude. This is another, like, damn close to a 10 from Dio, man, because I don't know, like, the only album that's, I think, just behind Holy Diver is this one, from what I've heard. I'll have to listen to Lock Up the Wolves and a few other of the deeper cut albums again, but Dream Evil, for my money, is the other best, you know, Dio album. And if you're a dad, you know, what kind of dad would be listening to Dio? I think a thoughtful dad, a dad who's sitting maybe in the basement, not the garage, you know, he's sitting there listening to, you know, Holy Diver, picturing himself in the dungeon, you know, maybe he's working out. Yeah, I could picture a buff dad listening to Dio. Now, let's keep talking. Now, who's Dio's arch rival? You know, who's the one man who can rival Ronnie James Dio? And let's just be honest, probably has him by a few inches. Well, at least in height, for sure. Ozzy, baby. Yeah, dude. Ozzy, No More Tears, one of my favorite Ozzy albums, man. It's right up there. Dude, obviously Blizzard of Oz will be, like, you know, up there, a contender as well. But for my money nowadays, dude, just like having listened to all this stuff for years, I'm reaching for No More Tears before I grab Blizzard of Oz, man. You get some great songs on here. Obviously the title track, probably my favorite. But Hellraiser, I think, which was written with Lemmy. Correct me if I'm wrong. Mr. Tinker Train. I hate Mama, I'm Coming Home. The internet also helped bastardize that song and make me hate it more when he died. Just don't give me that wimpy shit and trying to make me all sad about Ozzy. You know, as much as I love the king of rock and roll here, I'm sure this guy was a little slime ball. He didn't even, man, if you think about it, Ozzy, dude, he got very lucky living as long as he did. Very, very lucky. So if there was one other album that I would recommend by Ozzy, I would go with Diary of a Madman. This has some of the best shit on it, dude. Over the mountain, flying high again. Dude, it's so many good tracks on here. This one's more of like a rocky album. Diary of a Madman. Dude, a doomy kind of track, you know. And the second whole side of this is kind of like that doomy or almost creepier sound. It sounds like the Diary of a Madman. You know what I'm saying? This is for the drunk dad. This is for, you know, the dad who's gonna get in trouble, cause a scene. I heard horror stories from Ozzy shows, you know, from just like other relatives or but the point is man, this is like party music, you know what I mean? The dad who was listening to Ozzy was getting himself into some trouble, he was sitting in the drunk tank waiting to be picked up by his pissed off wife, 2 kids in the back seat, you know. But yeah, man, I'm a big fan of this album. I always thought it was kind of overlooked and underrated. I like it way more than God damn it. What's Bark at the Moon. I love the title track, but the rest of Bark at the Moon's too damn slow for me. Like, I don't know, there's a lot of like ballady, singy-songy type songs on there, at least from what I remember. Been a while since I spun it, but it was just never one that captivated me like the other stuff. But let's see, who am I missing here? I think that's about everybody. I got Dio, Van Halen, Kiss, Ozzy, and let's bust out a couple more records. Oh, I almost forgot a key player. Let's go right for it here. A couple key players. Mötley Crüe, baby. Heart, yeah, you want... I should have saved the drunk tank one for this guy. This is for the doped up dad, the dad who's just up to no good. He's still hitting on girls in high school, and he's well into his 50s, and his daughter's like 16 or something like that, and he's still hitting on her friends. Yeah, this Mötley Crüe, it doesn't get sleazier than these guys, you know what I mean? But I kind of dig this album, you know. I like it less. It's funny, I own the 2 Mötley Crüe albums that I like the least. Actually, I'll show you the other one in a second, but Dr. Feelgood, I actually think that's a great song. Slice Your Pie is awesome. Sticky Sweet is awesome. Rattlesnake Shake is one of the worst songs I've ever heard. I don't know. It's fine. You know, it's fine. It's good. Kickstart My Heart's on here. Classic, you know, so Dr. Feelgood. Always loved that album cover, though, man. Absolutely badass. And I also have Theater of Pain. I bought this one. It was between buying this and Girls, 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 which I like way more. Girls, 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 and Shout at the Devil are my favorite Mötley Crüe albums. But I bought this because, you know what? I just knew it the least, you know? I was like... I'm the least familiar with Theater of Pain. Nobody liked it. It was a bad reviewed one back in the day, and I never just gave it much time because I was a idiot. I used to not listen to people. I mean, I used to listen to people more than I do now. But point aside, there's some good tunes on here, man. I kind of like Home Sweet Home, Smoking in the Boys' Room. I don't know. Pretty good. I don't think it's the dud that people say it is. I enjoy it when I throw it on. But, yeah, do you need it? No, just stick with Girls, 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 and Shout at the Devil. But regardless, that is some sleazy dad rock that if you're sitting by the pool, yeah, you're just, and you listen to Mötley Crüe, you're a shady dad. Now, let's go back to the cool dads. Iron Maiden, Killers, man. The more I listen to Killers in the debut, the more I'm like, man, that Paul Di'Anno era is probably... I don't know, dude. I don't know. You can't really even compare them. I don't want to be making claims here, but yeah, goddamn, Wrathchild, Murders in the Rue Morgue, Genghis Khan, that awesome interlude track or whatever. Yeah, dude, just absolutely killer. Purgatory's awesome too. Yeah, man, Killers might be my favorite Maiden album, but I mean, really hard to say because flawless band. As far as every time I listen to Maiden, I'm like, damn it, why don't I listen to Maiden more? What kind of dad would be listening to this? A cultured dad, you know, a classic kind of dad, you know, the one that you trust listens to Iron Maiden, you know, he knows what's good and he's not trying to be too fancy, you know. Anyways, Iron Maiden, Killers, last band. Who do we have here? Fox News Dad Alert, Megadeth. Come on, dude. What do I got to say about this one? Not much. I'm not really a Megadeth fan, man. I have this album again because I wanted to throw it on, but I'll take Rust in Peace any day over this. But Devil's Island's awesome. Wake Up Dead's kind of funny. Peace Sells, whatever. Good Morning Black Friday's cool. Regardless, dude, yeah, pretty cool dad rock album. This is for the conspiracy theorist dad. There's tons of those out there, and they're rich and they hate liberals and yada yada yada. But anyways, man, yeah, I still recommend Peace Sells, but who's buying? Not horrible, pretty cool album. I'll have to re-listen to it and give you my thoughts again because it's been a while since I spun it. So, anyways, Fox News dads, they all love Megadeth. All right, guys, that's it. What are you guys going to be listening to by the pool while you're sipping brewskis and maybe just pounding a bottle of tequila, listening to Sammy Hagar? What are you throwing on with the dads? As you're out there in fucking sandals and plaid shorts, looking like a dipshit. That's what I'll be listening to while trying to bond with those guys. Salty ass. You need to start a savings account, dudes. Not happening. Too much money goes to my vinyl collection. That's my savings account, baby. Hoo hoo. AI.